Hello everybody, welcome back to Collecting and Hobbies. Today we're going to do another makeup review over some figures that I reviewed before. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I had a bunch of reviews done, but they got erased. It's a little bit rubberier than most of the hard plastic guns. So today we're going to do a review over. I'll try to do all three of these at once, I guess. Possibly. Hang on. Oh, scratch that idea. Actually, this 2-pack right here I did before, I don't think it's on my channel. Pretty sure it's not. It might still be. I don't really remember, but I don't have the other gun pack, the big bazooka launcher thing for that right now. So we are going to do a review over Star Wars Force Awakens figure, Nein Numb, and I recently just re-recorded another review for his wave mate of First Order Stormtrooper Squad Leader, which is the one with all the extra gear on him. And I have sitting around somewhere the other person in his wave, the Kylo Ren, unmasked. So I'll be getting around to him soon, and then we'll be able to do the whole build a weapon, put it all together. Now I went through several of these, and like some other figures in the past, I talked about like Rey and the new Rogue One Rey and some others. I had a hard time finding a good one, like paint job wise. So this particular figure is from Return of the Jedi originally. He was also in The Force Awakens, and one of the returning characters, one of the few, or actually in a way one of the many. Luke, Han, Leia, Chewbacca. But if you don't know who he is, he's the guy that was in Return of the Jedi, who was co-piloting with Lando Calrissian in the Millennium Falcon. So let's get this little backpack off of him real quick and review the figure itself. There's a little storage space you can put his little pistol in. Focus on that real quick. Better. Maybe. Alright then. So anyway, I'll take the pistol out. There's a little slot right there. This looks pretty much, I think it's identical to the same pistol that Poe Dameron comes with, the X-Wing pilots. Unfortunately, he has nowhere to store it except for on that backpack, which is also part of his build-a-weapon. And this particular Nein Numb has a ball socket neck, so you can move his head up and down, or a little bit of an angle. And of course, all the way around 360. But the last time I reviewed him, I wasn't happy with him. Mainly because of issues like right in there. Right there, his jacket or his vest or whatever you want to call it isn't painted completely. It's a little bit faded. You can see that as red. I don't know how well that comes up in the camera. There's his date code there. Can't even really read it. 60181. So he was made January 18th of 2016. Sounds about right. So for really that is the biggest issue with his paint job. There's a little bit of paint missing, I guess, or I don't know what's going on right here. It's a different color red around his boots, the top of his boots. There's some more red that's not supposed to be there. That's actually from pulling it off of the mold. They didn't paint over that. But his hands also, I don't know how well that comes through, but it's a little bit transparent in the hands, like I was talking about in other figures, several other figures, especially in the basic assortments. Just putting their guns in and out of their hands seems to take the paint off of them. So that's some quality issues. Hasbro, I hope you're listening. You really need to go over these with better paint schemes. Around the ears is not exactly perfect, but more so on this side. But for 5 POA figure, the cheaper of the two, the super articulated, let's see, that's about as far back as he goes. Looks like he's doing the limbo. Let's see if he can stand. There we go. There's not much issue with him standing. He's got some rather large feet, actually. I'm not sure if that's screen accurate. Look how large the bottom of his boots are. A little bit of stuff you can see on the bottom right there. I didn't paint his boots all the way there either, on either one of them. So they could have done a little bit better on the paint. I personally prefer the original 1983 version of this, and probably any of the vintage collection ones maybe, but the likeness is great. The likeness looks pretty spot on. As far as the figure itself goes, I would say that, with a perfect paint job, he's probably about an 8 or so. He's about an 8 either way, really, but just the way they sculpted him is kind of funny. He's for some reason not holding his gun all of a sudden. Let's try the other hand. His fingers are very rubbery. It's kind of surprising. It doesn't look like he holds his gun real in a great position, sort of. I don't know, that's about as good as it gets. But he seems to hold it much better in his left hand than his right. I really wish this figure had some kind of waist articulation. Just that one extra point of articulation goes a long way. And it kind of looks like he would have knee articulation, but he doesn't. It's just a straight 5 POA figure. Now let's get to the Build-A-Weapon. Now you already saw what he looks like with his backpack. That's what this is basically for if you only have this figure by itself. But it also becomes some kind of other thing. So these don't move. This part doesn't move at all. So I don't really know, but we'll get to this basically when it comes around to when I get Kylo Ren unmasked opened up, because I've already opened up the Stormtrooper, and there we go. That's basically the bottom third of the actual Build-A-Weapon. So as a backpack, it looks kind of cool. It is somewhat functional by it holds his pistol in there. Not sure what's going to go into this, but we will find out when I do a review over Kylo Ren and we have all 3 figures to do. So until then, I'll just go ahead and cut this off now, and we'll be able to see the Build-A-Weapon later. Here's a little preview of what it's going to look like. It's Kylo Ren's weapon on top, Stormtroopers in the middle, Nine Numbs on the bottom. There's Kylo Ren's weapon. And this is what the packaging looks like, since I didn't show you the packaging in the beginning. So just imagine him in there. And since his weapon combines with the Stormtroopers, I guess I'll go ahead and try it real quick. So you want to put, I believe, put this, right in there. Not sure how well this is going to stand. So, there we go. I would say it has some balancing issues, but just this part, these 2 parts itself, kind of look pretty cool. And then this thing kind of looks like an extra handle. And you put Kylo Ren's thing on top of there. Kind of looks like a battle droid. This destroyer droids from episode 1. This same kind of feet. And it will have a rocket launching thing that goes on the top. So as soon as I break him out, we will, Kylo Ren that is, we'll do a full review over the Build-A-Weapon as well. But yeah, it definitely has balancing issues. For some reason this leg seems to be more crooked than the other one. So if you have an option, more than one Nine Numb, maybe check to make sure his backpack has, if you could actually tell in the packaging, better legs. Got 3 points of articulation on backpack, almost as much as the figure itself. Alright, so that's the review of Nine Numb from The Force Awakens, and I will see you next time.